things.
Recording now.
Hi, Suze.
Hi, beloved. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so good. I
Nice
miss.
to be here with you.
I'm depressed because I'm not in Costa Rica still.
Oh,
It's hard. It's hard to come back home to regular life after that.
it's no bueno.
It's no bueno.
Yeah.
I did not do so well with my Spanish because my girlfriend's great at Spanish, and so is my mom, and so I would just lean on them, which is not good for me. I need to practice more.
Why are you so, insistent that you need this in your life?
Because I think it's like a good thing a good skill to have if you're going to spend a lot of time in a country where Spanish is their language. Mm-hmm. You know,
Okay.
And I
Yeah,
like
you
to
wanna
get
be
around.
respectful.
I like to get and you have a totally different experience. This is what I really saw this time. You know, my mom lives in like a very local community. There are a few houses that are now being built in places that are like foreigners, but a lot of people there are locals and people who have lived there for years, and they're the people who have integrated into regular Costa Rican way of living. And then there's the I'm an American or foreigner who came, usually white person, who came to Costa Rica, and
Yeah.
I'm
An expat.
and I want tropical paradise, but with all the amenities and conveniences of America. And my mom has the other side of that. So it was very fun. And I love that. And I want to be able to be more with the locals and going to the regular grocery stores. And it was so much fun. And now she has a horse.
That's
so
right.
I
It's
got to be Panchita.
Winnie. Okay, Panchita.
Panchita is the name, which means little peanut. And she's the cutest little thing. And I just love her.
Peanut is a girl?
Peanut,
That seems like a boy name.
Panchita is a girl. Oh, yeah, does it?
Panchita, I see.
Yeah. And it's named after a horse that my mom rode when she was a little girl. And now she has got a horse as a 70-year-old lady. And so I got to, I miss having an animal so much.
Yeah.
Because animals make you jump out of bed in the morning, or make me jump out of the bed in the morning. I'm excited to start the day and take care of the animals. And, I'm waking up early to freaking fill hay bales.
That's what Arnold Schwarzenegger is like too. He has all those petting zoo style animals, and that's part of it. You know how he loves getting up and working out,
Yes.
but part of it is feeding the animals and
It
caring
feels
for
so
others.
good.
Yeah.
And they get so happy and they're ready. And there's something so fun about waking up in the morning and having a horse talk to you and say hey, it's they do the thing. And I'm like,
They're very expressive.
very expressive. And I'm like, hi, you want some food? Yes. Okay, here we go. And she's like, not that hay, that hay. And
Really, very picky.
yeah, it's she doesn't eat. She's like, no, that one's too dry. I want this one. She's very cute.
Somebody said something to me one time about pets and animals that I have remembered because I think it's so true, which is that when you are engaging with an animal,
Yeah.
you are totally in the moment.
Oh, totally. You can't be distracted. They know.
Yeah, you're just engaged. It's sort of like being with a baby.
Yes,
another
you're in the
living
moment.
being. It's impossible to be thinking about your bills or whatever. You're just
Right.
in communion with another living thing.
Yes, you are
That's a
so
lovely
present all the
idea.
time. And there's and the animals in Costa Rica, I've always said this. I don't know if it's the people or the animals or what it is, but they are just they're just gentle there. The cows, everybody.
It's the pura vida.
And you see the horses get along with the dogs, who get along with the cats, who get along, well, the cats don't get along with the mice. Cats kill the mice. But the horses are like the cats because the cats get the mice out of the barn. You just see everybody working together.
Yeah,
And
it's real team effort.
yeah, it's real pura vida. I did have one funny moment where, you know, my mom is like, with a horse, you have to be, if you're going to ride a horse, you have to go into that interaction like you're the boss, you're in charge, you know, you're riding the horse. And when I'm with my mom, and you know Sally,
I do.
she's gonna be like, okay, she's the boss lady. So I'm like, I can't have that I'm in control energy when my mom is, you know.
Yeah, you're the beta.
Right, which is how it's gonna go. And so I'm like setting the horse up to go ride and everything, and like putting the saddle on, and you know, listening to 1,000 different directions at once. And I did not put it on tight enough. So I had the experience of hopping up on that saddle and it went right underneath as soon as I hopped up. So luckily the horse, I felt Panchita roll her eyes at me and go like, oh, fucking amateur.
Like amateur.
Like, yes, totally. I felt her like, okay, get it together. Then finally I'm like, all right, let me do it. Yes. And I said, Mom, let me just do it how I'd like. And okay, got it all together and hopped up and, you know, rode off into the sunset. But I was just like,
maybe you need a horse. Maybe you need to adopt a horse.
Well, that's what I was telling. I'm like, I really realized how much I love being around horses. And I had like a very emotional moment where I realized that, because I rode horses when I was.
Oh, yes. I am familiar with your horse girl history.
Right. Horse girl history. And I think I blocked a lot of that out because that was like how my dad. I would always joke like, oh, yeah, that's how my dad tried to buy my love, was with like horseback riding.
I wish someone would try to buy my love. For fuck's sake. Anyone, anybody, please. I'm sorry. I digress.
So he tried. And so I think I like blocked out. I was like, horseback riding was like, reminded me too much of that. So I didn't do it for a while, or I didn't. And then I was like,
you're like, my love can't be bought.
Exactly. And I was just like, I love this so much and I miss this and I need this. So my cute little girlfriend went online and started looking up therapeutic horse like say
therapy.
Yeah, and she's like, you can work there, you can volunteer there, this is great for you. So maybe that's in my future, and I'm going to try to be around horses more.
Or you could work as a therapist for, you know, because these are real things that exist.
Real things. And there was a woman who did that at I practiced down in Orange County, and that's a real great.
Remember, I lived in Palos Verdes, which is it's an equestrian community.
Yes. Yeah,
I don't know why
horse
it is.
country.
I know. I didn't know that when I moved there, but then next thing I knew, there was just a peacocks.
It's very
and
funny when
everywhere.
people are like walking their horse like down the street to Starbucks and stuff.
Yeah, it was a whole scene, and it is a lovely culture.
It really is.
And I don't know why horses do have that effect on people, but it is therapeutic. And there is this, like I said, a communion with nature that exists. Because they're so humongous.
It is the funniest thing. They are so humongous, but I'm telling you,
dogs.
If you put, they are so, you can see the connection with humans that they want that. They are prey animals, you know, like they rely on humans, and when they're domesticated, like make them feel safe. And so they're very much on alert. Like, are you a human that's going to make me feel safe? So if you don't come in there with that energy of like, you're safe and I'm safe and everybody's safe, then they're like on edge. And you know, you can really see it. But
I think there's that Jerry Seinfeld bit about like, when are we going to stop measuring like the power of machines in horses? Because you know how we still say like a horsepower engine, and like it'll be like 7 million.
I do not know what that means. Right, that does not translate. Exactly, too many horses. Yeah, I'll tell you a funny story. How my mom even found her horse is there was a man who, his family has had this, you know, land for, you know, forever, many generations. He has 15 plus horses, and he does the tours and takes people out riding and everything. And he would come by, and there was this horse that was always the last one, looked like it did not want to be on the tour.
That's the Suze of the group.
Oh, exactly. My mom was like, that one. I'll buy that one.
Me too.
It's like, is that horse for sale? And he's like, yes, please. So Panchita now doesn't have to do anything like that. Every now and then, you know, she has to go for a little ride, but it's more like walking a dog because she does not want to do it. She just wants to go out for a little trot. But I did take her galloping on the beach, and that was very fun. And my girlfriend had not been on a horse since she was like 5 years old at summer camp. And that's very scary when the horse just starts galloping. And she did a great job. She was riding down the beach and giggling and having a great time. And I gave her very little warning that, you know, this is what was going on.
Wow.
But,
well, she's a real trooper.
yeah, she was a trooper. She has that special gift to be
I bet
present.
after a day on those horses, you guys were like, you know what we want to do? We want to have a cozy night with our cozy earth.
Well, you know, I wore my Cozy Earth pajamas because that material is so soft that even if you're in any environment, it'll keep you nice and cool.
Oh, it's like your home.
You know that bamboo like fabric that's so soft?
Yeah.
And
that's smart.
that feels really good to be lounging around the house in.
Yes, it sure does. And Cozy Earth's bedding, pajamas, their duvet covers, everything they have is so high quality and so soft, but affordable. It's like magic. And it gets better every time you wash it. And
they come with a big old warrant. What is it? 10-year warranty?
Yeah.
On those sheets.
Yep, all their bedding, they stand by it. They've got that warranty on the go, and then the 100-night trial.
Yes.
So if you're like, these sheets are the worst, which you won't,
No way.
then you can just send those guys right back. And all of it's like temperature regulating. So if you happen to be a gal, as we are, who maybe gets a little hot in the night, this is the stuff for you. They have a deal for you guys too, and it is a real doozy. Discover how care in every detail transforms simple routines into moments of true comfort and ease. Head to CozyEarth.com and use our code BRAINCANDY for up to 20% off. And if you get that post-purchase survey, be sure to mention you heard about Cozy Earth right here on Brain Candy. That's 20% off at CozyEarth.com with code BRAINCANDY. Yes. This is really nice. I have to get a new duvet cover, and I'm like chomping at the bit. Just like Panchita.
Yeah.
To choose which one.
Of course, I don't put a bit in her mouth. It just goes over. Kind of nice.
I don't even know what that even means. Like any
Sometimes
of it.
they have like the metal like bits that go in
What's
their
that
mouth.
for though?
Controlling the horse, but she just
Oh,
has
it's
it
like,
that goes
oh,
over,
okay.
like the
It
bridle that
directs
goes
them?
over. Yeah, so you can pull
Okay.
that one way or the other way. You know, that's how you steer the horse.
I'm learning so much.
Yes, we also got to see her get her horseshoes changed.
Cute.
Yeah, so we were like,
How often is that going on?
about
Biannually?
once a month. No, pretty
Oh my
frequently.
word,
They're
that's a lot.
it grows like nails, you know, and so if it grows out too much, it'll change the angle of
didn't know it
their
was like
their
nails.
foot and their
Those hooves are like fingernails.
yeah, they keep growing, and so the horseshoe it'll like change the direction of the horseshoe, so you've got to trim it down.
Who's
so that
trimming those hooves?
the vet comes over and does a house visit. Yeah, $60 to get
$60 a month.
to get those shed, a little more, maybe
They're very
every
high
6
maintenance.
weeks.
You gotta brush their mane
Oh,
and all
yeah.
that.
Totally, you got to do so much. They're very high maintenance, but it's fun maintenance. It's like a
It's
dog.
ritualistic,
Like, it's
too. That's the
ritualistic.
whole
It's
thing,
fun.
yeah.
It feels good. It gets you outside. Like having land, watering plants outside. I miss that whole thing. I can't wait for that day. One day.
Yeah.
Having
when
some
you
land.
Retire.
Yes. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? Some real stories here. Okay. Let's talk about this is kind of funny. Well, we'll see. What do you think about this?
Okay.
So there's a man named Sean McKee who stayed at an Airbnb in Memphis with his friends.
Yeah.
And after the stay, the host charged him $960 in extra fees and alleged rule violations.
Uh-huh.
Like extra guests, noises, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And he said that the accusations were untrue, refused to pay,
Okay.
and then leaves a 1-star review.
Yes.
Have you heard this story?
No.
Okay.
I'm all ears though.
So,
Because this is the fear, you know, like when you
Yes.
have an Airbnb or you stay in an Airbnb, you don't want retaliatory
right.
review
Oh,
stars, all that jazz.
Funny
right?
you say retaliatory.
Right? Because, well, and I'm just saying, like, on the normal level of, like,
Right.
if I leave them a bad review, then you worry they're going to leave you a bad review. And the whole
Exactly. And she was worried that this bad review is going to hurt. She had that superhost status. So she's
We're
all
all
worried, like,
worried.
this is going to hurt my status. And really, I've done nothing wrong because he's the one who violated the
That's right.
code and everything like that. So the property had one of those doorbell security cameras outside.
I love it.
And on the camera,
Yeah.
she captured this gentleman at 3:16 with another woman who is not his wife.
Oh, no.
So, what do you think she
How
did?
did she know it wasn't his wife?
Oh, that's a very good question.
I mean, that's Sue's level surveillance, if you
She
ask
was
me.
like, well, I think what she was doing is she was using that as like, you're having an additional guest. Like, here's the proof of an additional guest.
Yeah, and then he's shit in the bed.
So then the lawsuit, so he ends up, so then he files a lawsuit because she
This
emailed
is the dumbest
the photo.
man in the world.
She emails the photo to his wife.
I love it. Tip of the hat. I give her
Yeah.
super host status.
Right? And so this guy is claiming that this caused serious damage to his marriage and
yeah.
emotional distress.
Yeah,
and
she
so
did.
he's suing
Dumbass.
her for extortion, invasion of privacy, and intentional emotional distress.
I love it so much. I love
I
it.
do too. I gotta say,
love this
I gotta
guy.
say, I'm on the side of the host.
Of course.
He
You're gonna
violated the
blame
rules. He didn't
the
pay the thing.
Airbnb host for blowing up your marriage,
Right,
sir.
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 He was sneaking around and he got caught and he's mad about it.
I
And I don't know
love
how
it.
a lawsuit is going to cushion the blow for
This
his
is
wife.
Barbara
but-
Streisand effect too, where he's like, "I'll show you."
Yeah.
I love it. Do we know any details about the wife's reaction?
Oh gosh.
I would
I
kill
don't.
to know.
I just had a little,
what a
it was just a
delight.
small,
What a
like,
fun
write-up
story.
about
How
it.
do you
Maybe
even know
other-
about this. This is so great.
because it's a lawsuit.
right.
I think I read about it in some really trashy post. Too. It was in like the New York Post.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They love shit like that.
Love it, right?
Well, because you
And,
remember there
yeah.
was that lawsuit in the Carolinas where an influencer was sued because I think she had a relationship with a married man, and then the wife.
Yes. I talked about that on
And
the podcast a while
won,
back.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that in that state, it's illegal to like
break up a marriage
in that way,
like that. Yeah.
or to be party to the breakup of a marriage.
So this is one of those cases where the jury has a really hard time because the law is what matters,
Oh,
not
what is
how
the
you.
law?
I don't fucking know. I don't know what the outcome was.
I don't think
know.
that's. Well, I guess it depends on the specifics, but like,
that's it.
if it. How did she know it was an affair? Did she send it intentionally to
Yeah.
expose him? Like,
And
I
then
don't know any of
also,
that.
some of these things are like privacy. Like, how long are you allowed to keep the footage after you're a guest? Like, if I'm a guest, I don't want you keeping that footage for forever, right?
Yeah,
That's
I totally
that-
understand what you're saying.
Then it kind of gets tricky. I can be, like I said, that's why I'm a great juror. I could change my, what are the rules?
Well, that's the trouble with being open-minded.
Yeah, exactly.
Because now that I have rental properties,
Right.
there is a sense of like, you feel like I need to have cameras. Like I want to, it's about not to see what they're up to, but like to protect yourself. And then you see this balance of like who's the victim and who's the right.
It's really hard
because nobody wants to be surveilled.
But if I'm also a rule follower, and if it says this is how many people.
Yeah.
I always email when that's been the case.
Over?
I've emailed people and I've said like, hey, we're having, this many people here for, like I stayed at an Airbnb where for my brother's baby shower that I threw. And it said this many guests. And I sent them an email saying like, we will be having a baby shower during the day from this time to this time with, and they're like, yeah, fine. No problem.
Yes. Okay. Well, that is fun, though. And I love that he's an idiot.
I know. And at 3:16 in the morning, he's bringing
And what's that lady doing showing up at 3:16?
Yeah.
Have some self-respect.
Yeah. And I think there was something that she made. The woman sent an email making some comment about, like, her purse, too. Like, she's got her in her cheap purse or something like that.
That makes it even better.
Right.
I love a petty bitch.
She's a petty bitch.
That is delightful.
So I thought that one was...
yeah, thank you, Sarah. That was really good.
We'll see what comes of that.
I love that.
Or maybe we won't. But
I'll tell you what'll come of us and all good things. And you know why? Because we have... Caraway cookware and bakeware, which you probably won't find it in Airbnb because they go for bottom of the barrel.
Oh, they really do. But you know what? If I had an Airbnb, I'd put that in there. If you're looking for high quality,
nothing
really
but
good
the
stuff,
best.
Yes. And also, isn't it nice when you're cooking something? Like I spend a lot. Oh my God. If you've done any kind of baking and you pour it in, you spend all the time baking the cake. Oh. And then you put in the baking tin.
You're trying
and then you flip it over.
Flipping it.
And it breaks. And you got to throw the whole thing out.
Garbage.
Oh my God. What I wouldn't give to have a time machine. Right? So for something to come out perfect, I love when you do like videos of you making the muffins or the zucchini bread and it just slides right out of the tin. That to me is like #satisfying. I could watch that on a loop. That actually brings my anxiety down.
Well, that's the thing because caraway is nonstick, but it's the non-toxic kind, and I don't really know how they do it because you don't even have to use like a spray because that would be bad anyway. Mm-hmm. It is just whatever magic goes into these pans, and you flip it over, and and the cake or the bread just slides right out. And you just want to say thanks so much.
Yes.
And it is also delicious. But what I love, too, is that they are cute as a button. They have a million different colors. I always choose marigold. Or is it sunflower or marigold? I think it's marigold.
I think it's marigold, yeah. And I always choose sage.
Oh, and she gets sage. But, I mean, they have all the colors. And so they look amazing in your kitchen. You can even leave them out. And like I said, they're non-toxic, non-stick. And I use them every day, all of their cookware. So Caraway's cookware set is a favorite for a reason. It can save you up to $230 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/braincandypod, which is our new URL, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/braincandypod or use code braincandypod at checkout. Caraway is non-toxic kitchenware made modern. They also have the butcher's blocks. They have bar sets now. They have everything. Check them all out. It's awesome stuff.
Yes. Make me hungry now. Okay, let's see. What other stories do I have to share with you? Maybe you'd read this one. Have you seen this new global study that was done? It was a survey of 23,000 people in 29 different countries that was looking at Gen Z's views on men and women and tradition.
I did see it. Oy. That was a downer. I was like, I don't think I want to talk about that.
Dude, talk about a downer. You know how we keep saying like, oh, don't worry, the kids are all right. And like, maybe Gen Z aren't the kids.
No, nobody's all right.
Dude.
Nobody's all right.
So this study of all of those people in all of those countries, we're looking
Gen Z.
It found that Gen Z men hold more traditional views about marriage and gender roles than older generations. And
I don't think we should say men because that includes as young as my son.
yeah, men and boys.
Yeah, men and boys.
Yeah. 31% of Gen Z men and boys say a wife should always obey her husband, and 33% say the husband should have the final say in major decisions.
Yeah.
Where is this message? I feel like you would know more because you have a child. Where is this messaging coming from? Is this like
this
the
is
religion
easy.
is? Yeah, because I don't.
No, it's not. It's from the manosphere. This is a social media invention. This is a huge problem. It is a function of algorithmic incentivized opinionation where creators are taught that the more extreme viewpoints are going to be prioritized and shown to more eyeballs, which makes them more money.
Right.
And then it has completely flattened the what our boys are exposed to online.
Oh my!
And part
This
of
is
it
terrifying.
It's terrifying, and it is so big that it is beyond what most of us feel we can reasonably combat.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
yeah.
You know how like we often think about like, is it nature or nurture, blah blah blah, and like, oh, what kind of home did they come from? It actually, that model can be thrown out the window because the majority of their time after a certain age is not from around us.
Right.
Even if you don't give them a phone, whatever, that doesn't matter because everyone else has one.
Right. And they're going to see it and it's going to be shared.
Have you heard of like clavicular?
No, what is that?
This is a child who have you heard of like the thing where they're trying to make their like looks maxing?
Oh yes, I have heard of this.
Okay,
yeah.
It's like he is that. He's like an influencer in that area where they're trying to maximize their physical looks. So this is all it falls in the realm of like testosterone, jawline, height, hair. It's all about
a lot of things that are not controllable.
Well, I mean,
and
they're
trying to make
to
it controllable.
Extent.
This feels very like body dysmorphia, body shaming stuff,
and also misogynistic. Homophobic. I mean, there's a million things, and this is all like there are like Venn diagrams. So it's like you have like the Joe Rogans, which is definitely in the category that is influencing these boys. But then there's like the more extreme, like Nick Fuentes, which is
like
more
Andrew
like white
Tate kind of thing.
Yes, and that is huge.
Yeah.
And then you have like the body ones, which are more testosterone focused. So that's that. And they're getting all these messages that are all about everything that you wouldn't want your child to think mattered. It's like if you imagine Mr. Rogers over here.
Oh, yeah.
And like all of the values that espouses, and then all of the things that are being taught to them are the opposite. And you do feel like you're emptying the ocean with a teaspoon.
Oh, man. Because it does feel like it gets rewarded. And it's a lot of the stuff that we felt got the spotlight when we were on reality TV, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's extreme. And it taps into like the lowest common denominator, like sort of low-hanging fruit of the human experience, where it's like, these are tribalistic ideas of
Absolutely.
and it goes into eugenics, and that's
Ugh.
why it's associated with racism and things like that.
You're right when you say it's like a flattening, because that is one thing that is not what everybody wants, what everybody aspires to, what everybody is, and like making that the goal. I feel like we saw this so much, or maybe more familiar with it with women, with how like the image, like this ideal woman is.
Yeah.
And now that's expanding, and the men and boys.
Yeah, but in a way, you know how like when we learned it.
Ooh, it did not come with putting another group down.
It didn't. It was putting ourselves down.
Holy shit, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
The only way for them to have power is to take away the power from somebody else. And in this article, and like what they're discussing in this study, is that power being taken away from their own spouses, and not seeing this as equality, not seeing a marriage as equality. Oh my God.
It's
you know what?
So bleak.
Dude, you know what I would be really interested in hearing is like looking at how vows change. That would be really interesting to me.
Yeah.
To see like what are people, because I feel like so much of, well, the first time I was married was about prioritizing. Like I felt like prioritizing equality, and like that was something that I don't know. Even
the weird thing was though with this data.
Yeah.
I remember when it was sort of summarized and the end said like, but the bright spot was everybody agrees that like women should be able to work outside the home. And I'm like, that's the bright spot, that like we're absolute garbage, but we still have to work.
That's not the bright spot for me. I thought the only thing bright about that was maybe that women had slightly higher numbers.
To me, it was like, that ain't good news. That means women are like, it's almost like slave labor.
Yeah, it
where
is.
Like you still have to work and be useful, but you're absolute trash.
Right. And that's what we see when funding gets taken away from certain women-dominated fields. Mm-hmm. Say, oh, you can't have that, or you're no longer a professional.
Yeah, that was a very sad study to read. Yeah. But it wasn't surprising because I see what's going on in like the teen culture. And
what does that do for dating in that teen
sad.
World? I mean, I understand. I mean, it's easy for me to say because I want to be with women, but like, God, I would have been with women way earlier and, never looked back if I knew 1/3 of men think that, the husband should have the final say in major decisions.
Right. What's the 1/3?
1/3.
I'll tell you what I could make a final decision about, and that is where I'm going to get furniture for my house and housewares in general, and that's Wayfair.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to have stuff that looks like $1 million, but you don't want to pay $1 million, and they literally have everything. I was going through the list of some of the stuff that I got on there, and Susie's like, "What? They have that?" I said, "Yes, Susie. Anything that you want."
Spring is such a great time for a refresh. Like if you just want new stuff to make your space more welcoming or more in line with the season, give you a little hope, you could get like outdoor stuff or just like upgrade your rooms, like accent pieces or whatever. It's just, they have everything that you need, and it's like a one-stop shop situation. You want mid-century, you want farmhouse, contemporary, whatever you need. Mm-hmm. You can find furniture, decor, essentials that fit your unique style and budget. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Yes. Some of the other things I wanted to highlight from that study, some of the beliefs that Gen Z men held. Women shouldn't appear too independent or self-sufficient.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't want to hurt their feelings.
And a, quote, real woman shouldn't initiate sex. Well, that's a big problem for the age of consent. And
I was baffled by that, too. Like, you would think they would want women to, like, show interest. You know, because that's...
I think it takes away from them being that in their mind, whatever they think the alpha is, which is so fucking stupid. And like, I don't even like that word. I fucking hate that term, alpha male. Like where that even came from, like the origin. I think whoever it was that's attributed to, like that creation of that term alpha male, has even said like, whoa, I did not mean for it to be taken like that and applied in these ways. And in fact, like the alpha wolf, like that's not even a thing. Like they rolled all that back. And I think that this weird like manosphere group has taken that and really run with it. And it's not even accurate. And I think that is not even what women really want. I think it might be what women are afraid of. And I don't think I want a partner that just keeps, like, I'm just there because I'm scared of what the other option is.
Yeah.
You know?
It baffles me that anyone would even want a partner like that or would tolerate a partner like that. And that these guys wouldn't be incentivized by just what would make the most women want to be with you.
Right.
Which is kindness.
Right. Like, don't they know how we feel about Pedro Pascal?
That's what I'm saying.
And all the nice guys? Timothy Chalamet?
They don't buy it, though. They don't buy it. They
I know.
think
that is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. You know what? I heard this labeled this article that I read this in. These are going to be dated names, but this was from a long time ago, and they called it the John Cusack, George Clooney effect.
What about it?
What
about them?
If you look at if you ask women who they're attracted to at different times in their cycle, they will have different answers. And you almost see this play out in, and this was like referencing like the 2000s and like movies that came out, how it would be like, we would have the leading man would be a John Cusack type, who's definitely your kind, more sensitive kind.
The characters that he plays, yeah.
And then we would go, no, we're over, and go back to the George Clooney, like, stereotypical.
What is he, not sensitive? He's a
dickhead? They called it that in this article that I read, but that he's more
of like the playboy.
Yeah, and think about him. Yes, at the time. Yeah. This is before when, like, George Clooney days.
Yeah, I mean, he was like a playboy type.
Yeah, never got married, dated a bunch of women, like that. So that's kind of sending that. I've never been into messages.
Those kind of guys. I've always loved a nice guy.
You have always loved a nice guy. That is true.
Yeah, I
mean,
into that.
I always like a more effeminate guy.
That's true, Sarah. Wonder why.
So
maybe you like girls.
Yeah. Turns out. I always joke,
probably shouldn't have been polled.
Yeah. I still say like I should have known when one of my favorite quotes is, the only person man enough to ever be with me is a woman, and I would say that to the men I'm with.
Fucking Jane Lynch.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So another thing that they kind of hinted at in that, or not hinted at, but just like straight up discussed in that article, was like how economic anxiety is maybe linked to some of those changes in masculinity roles. And I read another article that talked about maybe another group that is predicting some economic changes, maybe better than economists do. And those are sex workers.
Oh, okay. What are they saying?
Yeah. So sex workers say that they can feel a recession coming even before the economists do.
Yeah.
Because
that
their
makes sense.
industry depends so heavily on discretionary spending.
Yeah.
And so right now, workers in strip clubs and
They're feeling the pinch.
Yes, they report that
Literally. And
right. They have fewer clients now, smaller tips, and they see this as a warning sign that people are tightening their budgets.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think it's real interesting that the people who really
have their finger on the pulse.
Yes. Yes.
Literally, baby.
Absolutely. Yep. They say that even clubs are much quieter, way less profitable. And the economists are also aware of this, and they have a name for it. They call it the stripper index.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always check the stripper index.
Always check the stripper index. Mm-hmm. It's the idea that spending on adult entertainment drops quickly when people are worried about money because obviously it's a non-essential luxury.
Oh my God. Pour one out for the OnlyFans creators.
No. So that was my other, the one thing that I that wasn't really mentioned. Like this talked a lot about sex workers in real life.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is, they talked a little bit about how there's changes in spending on alcohol.
Yeah.
And how people aren't going to, bars and clubs as much.
Well, Gen Z's not.
Yeah.
The rest of us fucking are.
Right. And I wonder what, are less Gen Zers going to strip clubs?
Oh.
Or is it like in areas where strip clubs are popular, they're always popular. But
right.
where they're not like.
Interesting. Given that it is the world's oldest profession, I'm going to say people are still going to IRL. However, Gen Z are weird.
I know.
So maybe they're the first generation in the history of mankind where they are just relying on pot.
Oh, because
and social media.
Do you think in that linking this back to that manosphere conversation?
Yes.
Do you think that those Gen Z men feel better or worse about paying for sex?
Better.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like they think of it all as transactional. And that's
so
the
they're
whole
saying
problem.
it's
That's why
okay
they can't connect with women IRL.
Oh, because they're looking at it as my relationships should be the same as my interactions with a sex worker.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's really gross. Their views of... Well, because they have been raised on porn.
That's the biggest problem.
And they have this incorrect, warped, skewed view of like what a healthy romantic relationship even looks like.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking is maybe we need more like, I don't know, if like shows that show what real dating is like. I think that's why everybody loved Love on the Spectrum so much.
Mm-hmm. They cut the shit.
Yeah. And it showed, it kind of pulled back the curtain, and I want, what I would really love is if there were a Love Off the Spectrum that showed how, guess what? It's the fucking same.
That for real should be a spinoff.
They should, and just be like, here's regular people, and wouldn't it, and oh my God, they could do it, and they could have some of the best couples give advice to those other couples.
Who do you think is a great example of like a couple where you're like, that's a great example of a successful relationship?
Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick.
Huh?
Mandy Patkin and his wife. His wife is named Patinkin. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Mandy Patinkin and Catherine Grody.
They are great.
Those, remember when I was saying that guy who has a woman's name and I can't, that's what I was talking about.
Got it.
Mandy.
Yes, Mandy Patinkin and his wife
and
are
his wife.
hilarious and delightful and goals.
That is another great example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think if I kept up with celebrity gossip
basically
more.
what you're naming are relationships that include a sensitive male.
I 100% am.
Yeah, there's nothing different about the women in those relationships. They're just women.
Yeah. Oh,
but
right.
the men, Kevin and Mandy, are just like these like nice, sweetie pie, generous men.
And I think that they really admire the women they're with, and for things, for who they are, and not just the externals. And so I think relationships where both partners admire the other one and are in awe of their just like talents as people. I think those are the best relationships. If you have
a generation who are raised to believe that women are cum dumpsters,
you can't be in awe of that. You can't be impressed with that.
By it.
Yeah, and anything that they do have, you look at, I wonder what man helped her get there, which is the freaking worst. That's a hard thing to be fighting if you're a woman.
That's what, again, that is why I saw this study and I was like, well, that sounds like something we'd talk about. And then I saw the data points and I said, no, thanks.
Because
I didn't want to bring this to the table because it is so depressing.
I know. I'm like, hey, guys, want to hear about how the recession is coming and men hate us? Because you tuned in to the right show. One other funny thing that they mentioned in the article that I wanted to, unusual economic indicators.
Yeah.
Declining sales of men's underwear. Not women's, but men's. So they can't even if the economy isn't going well, they don't buy new underwear.
They are disgusting. Okay.
Isn't that funny?
What are you talking about?
No other additional information, but just one thing that they noted.
All right. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you think that is because they are, economically they're trying to be conservative and they're like, well, I could stretch these undies longer.
Yeah. Yes. They say that with just wearing them.
Well, that's what I mean.
I know that's it. Women are like, no. I can't be going around with holes in my underwear. Men
or do you think it's like
tough.
That they're like, what else? Do you think it might be a reflection of they don't think the women deserve cleaner underpants or nicer ones?
I think that they're not aware that somebody else we I think have that fear of, I don't want to be seen with holes in my underwear.
Although they should have that fear too, Sarah, because I have seen.
Oh, they absolutely should have that fear.
I've seen the dregs.
They absolutely should have that fear. And we are judging.
It matters.
And then women go, but all guys are like that. No, they're not.
No, they're not.
I have two very clean brothers, and they are not all. And you have a clean husband, and they are not all like that.
I mean, haven't you ever seen a man's underpants and been like, we're done here?
Yeah. Ooh.
It's disgusting. And I don't even mean just clean. I mean, what is happening? And why are they that color? And what is happening in this style?
I'm just like, what the fuck? Yeah. And they're always stretched out in weird places. So toss those because we're judging.
Remember the Curb where Larry's dentist was a really great dentist, but he had underpants that were threadbare and were the band was pulling away from the cloth, and he had to switch. I get
it.
Larry is always he is a North Star for me.
I'm like, if you can't change your underwear, I don't want you responsible for cleaning my teeth.
Yeah, it's an indicator.
Because I want somebody who's very oop, it's dirty. You're gonna get every little. I can't see what you're doing in there.
Women are not doing that.
No, we are absolutely
Why?
not.
Is it why? Why do you suppose?
Because we tend to be have a lot of shame about anything in that region.
Yeah.
We're so used to being shamed about. Yes, for sure. We can't even control the things that are in our underwear. They fucking can control what's in theirs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I sure do.
Okay. Glad we're in agreement. Okay, last little thing I'll share with you.
Yes, great.
I read this article in Time magazine that was on the benefits of oversharing.
Oh my God, you must have been like so excited to read this.
So excited. I was like, woo!
This is your
finally.
time to shine.
Here we go. So
we have finally found
a
justification.
Yes.
For our flaws.
The article argued that people often fear oversharing, but the bigger social problem may actually be undersharing.
Undersharing.
Yeah. That research shows that people overestimate the risk of being open and underestimate the benefits of sharing personal information. That it is the sharing of personal information that actually brings us closer.
100%.
And we think that we shouldn't do it. Oh, I have to be polite. Oh, I have to da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
They hold back their thoughts and feelings. Everybody's worried about judgment.
Yeah.
Or saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I would argue that
I feel
doing
like
that
I'm a missionary of this worldview.
Yes.
I am constantly asking people, quote unquote, inappropriate questions.
And I'm also asking those questions, but wearing the hat of a therapist, and I'm helping the people get to their goals by asking those questions.
And
encouraging them to overshare.
Psyched out of their mind to share.
Could you imagine?
People are dying to tell you.
And therapy is such a good example. They didn't talk about this, but they should have. Therapy is a good example of why oversharing is beneficial. All of therapy is one person oversharing, and it helps that person. I mean, obviously it's not two-sided, but people can see you always feel better.
You always feel better.
Yeah.
No one's ever been like, oh, I said too much.
It's even more powerful when it's like used to strengthen relationships.
What do you mean, like in a marriage?
Yeah, like with friendship, where it can go both ways. Like it's, only so powerful in one direction with a therapist. But when you can like be in real life and share and be open and,
You've observed me asking these inappropriate questions.
I love it.
And I can tell you, I have never, truly, I ask these every day of my life. Everywhere I go, I am asking things that no one else asks. I have not one time had someone say, like, I don't want to tell you.
Right. Because people always want to talk about.
They kind of want permission.
Yeah.
To reveal.
They don't want to bug you with it.
Yeah. But they want you to say, like, I want to know.
Yes.
Especially if you're saying, like, you're not going to judge them and stuff, which I definitely am saying because I live for it.
No judgment zone over here.
And then they will be more candid and everybody is happier.
Yeah.
Because they realize we're all the same. No big whoop.
You ask questions, but you also do your part in oversharing. And I think your self-disclosure is really the thing that maybe encourages the reciprocity. And so you open up, and the other person, of course, is more likely to open up to you.
I mean, Sarah, we couldn't be better advocates for this.
I'm actually upset they didn't come to us for a statement.
Right. Have you ever shared and wished you hadn't? Because, I mean, if anyone could say that, it would be us, because sometimes we probably do.
Not that I remember, actually. Nothing that stands out to me. Nothing where I'm like...
You're probably more discerning than I am.
I think what I did learn to do was in grad school, I learned when to contribute to the conversation in a helpful way versus just flexing what I know with, And so I think that helped.
Yeah.
It was like more healthy disclosure. I was doing in a helpful way.
Sometimes if you tell the wrong person, they can leverage it.
Yeah.
And hold it over your head, weaponize it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You got to know who you're sharing too.
But that's why in order to know that, you have to give people opportunities to.
Yeah, you got to slow drip it.
Yes. You got to
right.
Trust test
it. Yes.
And you got to say, okay, I'm gonna share this. You don't come in with the level 10 trust things. You got to give them the level 5, and then you go, okay, success. Let's move them up a level in the trust tree, whatever.
That's right, the trust tree.
Yeah. So
I agree. That's really funny.
Yeah, but the article also talked about how. If you're somebody that we should not, this is the most important thing that I really want listeners to know, is that openness is a skill. That is not something that it's a personality trait. Or some people think of it as I either am an open person or I'm not an open person.
Yeah.
But in actuality, openness can be practiced, and sharing thoughtfully rather than practicing just staying emotionally guarded can really help, and that you can learn how to have this. And a lot of times it's because of messages we got growing up. We lived in a family where we don't talk about that stuff, so you have to do thoughtful oversharing, so revealing a little bit more about yourself in a way that feels safe. And this is things you can practice. It's not oversharing, just try opening up in a way, and it's almost like here people are thinking sometimes people can go to the extreme with it, and it could be I'm either the door's closed or I'm totally an open book, and it does not need to be like that. When you're in a moment and you have that emotional bubble almost come up where maybe you want to say something ooh, that felt it could be, I'm trying to think of an example. Say you're at the airport. I was just at the airport, and all of a sudden this really loud noise came over the thing, and a loud noise came up, and I felt this emotional bubble to look around and be oh my God, that was crazy. That wasn't it. But maybe you don't say it. If you do say it, which I did, then I had an opportunity to talk with the people around me and connect. And your oversharing does not mean I have to tell everybody personal details of my life. Oversharing the way that sharing, we'll just call it sharing, can be talking about the personal experience that you just had in the moment might be what somebody else next to you is experiencing too, that can allow you a chance to connect.
I had diarrhea this morning.
Right. But you could be ooh, sure. And it can almost sound like small talk. I can't believe that this is
That's right.
We have to practice these things, but we really do to get oh man, sure is hot outside. Can you believe that, we're having another stretch of da-da-da? That's oversharing about your internal experience and thoughts in the moment. And you can make a new friend.
What some of my favorite overshares, but which you should not do, are the ones that are doing it on social media.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you do love an overshare on social media.
I love when people are going through a breakup or something that they should do privately.
Yeah.
Or with their own real life friends and family, but they cannot resist. And we are going along on this ride together because it is a shit show. You shouldn't do it because that's not even connecting. That is just
venting.
Yes, it is sharing for no purpose other than because you couldn't keep it inside anymore. Your pot boiled over. Yeah. And now we all are witnessing it like with our head in our hands okay, and we're getting the popcorn Michael Jackson emoji or meme going on.
Well, I think that's very important to say because the article did stress that healthy disclosure.
Yeah, that's not healthy, but I love it. Keep doing it for my sake, but it's not the right thing to do.
Unhelpful oversharing, which is dumping deeply personal information without context or boundaries.
Have you ever done that online?
Does not help.
Have you ever done that?
Only when I was like in a I would say.
You're posting like memes of like inspirational quotes or what?
No, I would say that there were things. I would say the closest I would get to something like that is like going through a bad breakup and being like, look at me now kind of posts.
I live for those too.
I know. I definitely did that after like post-divorce.
That's better than just sort of the inspirational quotes and stuff.
So that I guess is the kind of oversharing maybe I did in that way.
That's not even oversharing. That's
not,
just sort of like, what do they call that? What?
It's like a
something
glow up
tweeting.
Yeah, but
whatever,
subtweeting.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. So that's what I got for you today.
Good lessons. Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was hilarious and good. And here's what I'm saying though too. If I follow you and you're going through a breakup, I'm living for all your
loving it
messiness.
Yeah,
but it's not healthy. You shouldn't do it.
And what you should do is you should just reach out to me for a session, for some life coaching, or even for a pep talk on Cameo, because I'll provide those. And
that'll help.
I will make you feel real good, and you don't have to
be like, please
do any unhelpful oversharing
on Instagram.
Yes.
All right, friends, we did it again. Don't forget, get your tickets for our 1000th episode in Pittsburgh. That's on thebraincandypodcast.com. And that's also where you find all our codes for our partners. And every time you use those, they are a help to us. And go to patreon.com/braincandy if you want our reality TV content. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.